The Adventures of Charlie, the Curious Dog. Charlie was a curious dog. He loved to explore and discover new things. Every day, he would venture out into the world, sniffing and investigating everything he came across. Charlie lived with his owners, a young couple who loved him dearly. They had adopted him from a local animal shelter when he was just a puppy, and ever since then, Charlie had been their constant companion and loyal friend. One day, while out on his daily walk, Charlie saw something that caught his eye. It was a small, furry creature, scurrying along the ground. Charlie was fascinated, and he followed the creature, determined to find out more about it. As he followed the creature, Charlie found himself in a part of town that he had never been to before. It was a quiet street, lined with old houses and overgrown gardens. Charlie sniffed at the air, taking in all the new scents. Suddenly, he heard a strange noise coming from one of the houses. It sounded like someone crying. Charlie's curiosity got the better of him, and he went to investigate. Peering through the window, Charlie saw a young girl sitting on the floor, crying. She was clutching a small stuffed animal, and tears were streaming down her face. Charlie knew he had to do something to help the girl. He scratched at the door, barking and whining to get her attention. Eventually, the girl heard him and came to the door. She was surprised to see Charlie there, but she quickly realized that he was trying to help her. With Charlie's help, the girl was able to calm down and talk about what was troubling her. She had lost her favorite toy, the stuffed animal that she was holding. Charlie listened intently, his big brown eyes full of sympathy. Determined to help the girl, Charlie set out to find the missing toy. He searched high and low, sniffing and investigating every corner of the house. Finally, he found the toy, hidden under a pile of clothes. With the toy in his mouth, Charlie ran back to the girl. She was overjoyed to see her favorite toy again, and she hugged Charlie tightly, thanking him for his help. From that day on, Charlie became a regular visitor to the girl's house. He would stop by every day, just to check on her and make sure she was doing okay. And the girl loved him for it. She knew that whenever she was feeling sad or lonely, she could always count on Charlie to be there for her. Over time, Charlie's reputation as a helpful dog grew. He became known as the neighborhood's guardian angel, always ready to lend a paw to those in need. Charlie would often wander through the streets, stopping to help lost children find their way home, comfort the sick and the lonely, and bring joy and happiness wherever he went. One day, Charlie heard a commotion coming from a nearby alley. He rushed over to investigate, and found a group of older dogs picking on a small puppy. The puppy was whimpering and crying, clearly frightened by the older dogs. Charlie knew he had to do something to help the puppy. He barked fiercely at the older dogs, warning them to leave the puppy alone. But the older dogs just laughed and continued to taunt the puppy. Charlie didn't give up. He charged at the older dogs, biting and clawing at them with all his might. The older dogs were taken aback by Charlie's bravery and ferocity, and they quickly backed off. With the older dogs gone, Charlie turned his attention to the puppy. He comforted the little dog, licking its wounds and cuddling up to it. From that day on, Charlie and the puppy became inseparable friends. They would run and play together, and Charlie would protect the puppy from any harm that might come its way. Charlie's adventures had taught him that there was more to life than just sniffing and exploring. He had discovered the true meaning of friendship, love, and loyalty. And he knew that he would always be there for his friends, just like they had been there for him. Years went by, and Charlie grew old. He wasn't as fast or as strong as he used to be, but he was still a loyal and loving dog. He spent his days lying in the sun, watching over his family and reminiscing about his past adventures. Finally, the time came when Charlie's health began to fail. His family knew that they had to say goodbye to their beloved dog. They gathered around him, holding him close, as he took his last breath. Charlie had lived a long and full life. He had been a loyal companion, a brave protector, and a beloved member of his family. His memory lived on in the hearts of those who had known him and loved him. And although he was gone, his spirit would always be with them, a reminder of the power of love and loyalty.